Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, the 28th day of August. Today is National Red Wine Day.
I will be celebrating.
I haven't seen you smile that much in a long time. National Power Rangers Day. I remember the Power Rangers. National Bow Tie Day. I have to admit, I don't know how to tie a real bow tie. I can do a clip-on pretty darn
Yeah,
easily.
you've got a little clip-on one.
National Cherry Turnover Day and Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day today.
Oh.
We have two puppies that just passed over the
yes,
Rainbow
we do.
Bridge. That is still really, really tough. It's like I keep thinking I hear their little paws
walking across
around.
the floor. And
that's tough. It's been very, very tough. With the one, we probably waited a little too long. And the other one, it was just really tough. And you get close to the end. It's just so tough. Today, on this Friday, we got something special going on. It'll hopefully take our minds off this. We've got two actors joining us today. They're brothers, David Henrie and Lorenzo Henrie, and they have a new movie out. It's a teen romantic comedy. They said, think John Hughes 80s movie.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's called This Is the Year, and today there's a special event going on this evening, like this afternoon, where Selena Gomez, she is one of the executive producers, she's going to be a part of this. We're going to chat with them about it. It sounds cool. I've got a link to it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. According to a survey of about 3,000 Americans, 57% of them said they are now much more aware of their own bad breath thanks to wearing a face mask. There have been a few times I put on a face mask, I'm like, whoa. I like coffee, so I drink a lot of coffee. So there are times that I put on a face mask, to go into a store or whatever, and I'm like, can tell I've been drinking a lot of coffee. But I do like coffee. I just don't like the smell of it on my breath, apparently. I've got a link to that story, by the way. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. A Kentucky man has copped to trying to sell his girlfriend's child for $2,500. So he admitted to it.
Wow.
Police say a tipster called 911 at about 1:20 a.m. Sunday to report a male that approached them and said, hey, you guys want to buy this kid? 4-year-old child. $2,500.
Gosh.
Yeah. They got the license plate number. They called the police. They found the child, his 26-year-old mother, Gertrude Hinson, and 29-year-old boyfriend, Harry Day. And that's when they found some meth and other drug paraphernalia and track marks visible on the girl, the adult lady, still bleeding.
Not on the daughter.
No. But they were charged with human trafficking, DUI, and 2 vehicular counts as well. Also charged with meth possession, endangering the welfare of a child, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm glad that story ended the way it did. It could have been even worse for that poor girl, that young lady. I just think, the whole thing just makes me mad. I've got a link to the story, though, in the show notes, and that is what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. A judge has ordered TV host Tavis Smiley to pay $2.6 million to the public broadcasting service for having multiple affairs with his subordinates that led to the cancellation of his show. So, $2.6 million. They must make a lot more money in public broadcasting than we do.
Right?
Yeah. I'd have to save up for, I don't know, $2.6 million
Well, just because
years.
they were
Yeah, ordered to
awarded that doesn't mean that they're going to get that.
Yeah, that's very true. Glee. We didn't really watch that. Our daughter did. She was really into
She
Glee
did.
for quite a while.
I watched it a few times with her, but I am not a fan of musicals at all.
But Glee star Leah Michelle has given birth to her first child, a son, with her husband, Zandy Reich. So congrats to them. And one last story here. Seal told his friends that his ex-wife, Heidi Klum from America's Got Talent, that he said that she has a hidden agenda to permanently move their kids to Germany. So Seal's not too thrilled. That is Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. An investigation found that Cook County State's attorney, this is in Illinois, they found the attorney there, Kim Fox, engaged in substantial abuses of power back when she let Jussie Smollett off the hook for staging a hate crime. And there's people online freaking out about this, but it seems like that was so long ago. They're just finally getting to this.
Oh, yeah. Legal stuff takes forever.
So the justice system is not fast, is what
It
you're
is
saying?
not fast.
Well, there's, again, that's in the news. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all the details. But yeah, that whole thing seemed a bit bizarre
It
to
was.
me. A new report claims that underage teens have been having digital, I guess, parties. We're going to put, I'm trying to find the G-rated way of saying this, on a thing called Roblox, ROBLOX. It's an online gaming platform. It allows them to make characters do things to each other anyway, whatever they want. And they're getting tons of calls to cancel this service to make this impossible from parents all over the place. Parents are going,
yeah, I would say so.
why do you have this so this is even possible?
Right.
Because what do you think is going to happen when you have a 12-year-old kid playing with this game? And they're like, hey, look what you can do. You know, so somehow they have it set up where you can do this, and kids are going, oh, hey, this is funny.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Not okay.
Yeah, like I said, I almost didn't read that story. I have stories
But
that
I think it's a good thing to read because there may be parents whose children are playing it that have no idea.
That is why I mentioned it. We, by the way, have children, but our children are so old they don't do this stuff anymore. They're old and moved away.
Now they're doing it for real.
No, well, let's hope not. Heidi. So anyway, again, the online gaming platform, Roblox, I don't know, ROBLOX. If your kiddos are on that, and if this is something that concerns you, I've got a link to that in the show notes. You can read all about it at johnandheidishow.com. California has confirmed its first case of the plague in 5 years. So first time in 5 years, a Lake Tahoe man was bitten by an infected flea while he was walking a dog. And they think that is how he got the plague.
Wow.
So, well, you know, you're watching the news and you're seeing COVID case numbers all the time. Mark one down for the plague.
Yeah.
Holy cow. 2020 has been such a weird year.
Who had the plague for August?
Yeah, exactly. And let's hope that it's just the one guy and it doesn't get any worse. And finally, Massachusetts police are looking for a masked man who was giving strangers COVID hugs at a Walmart. What? I don't even know.
So he was
apparently
COVID positive and was walking around?
And he was offering, and people were saying, okay, and they were getting hugs. I don't know. I don't know. I've got a link to the story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Today is a very big day. Not one, but two guests, and they've got a big project that's coming out today as well. We have brothers David Henrie and Lorenzo Henrie, and they're working together for, I believe, the first time on a new project called This Is the Year. How's it going, guys?
Not too bad. at all. Doing okay. How about you?
I'm fantastic, and you guys get to work together on a project. This is the year. It actually premieres today. David, tell me a little more about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a feel-good movie. It kind of is a homage to 80s John Hughes films, so you'll get a lot of that nostalgia throughout the film, but it's done in a modern way. So it's putting new wine into an old wineskin. It's a classic love triangle dealing with the theme of expectation versus reality. I think my generation and Gen Z below me all deal with just being hit over the head constantly with social media, movies, TV shows, images. We're constantly inundated with it. So you can expect love to be one thing based on all of that versus the reality of it, which isn't always the same thing. So I wanted to really chew on that theme in this film.
And this is your directorial debut, right?
That's right. This is the first film that I directed, and we're super excited to bring it to everyone. This is the year .film. You're going to see a live virtual experience with me and Selena Gomez. We haven't been on camera in 10 years, so you're going to get to see us live as if you were with us at the premiere. And you and Selena worked together in the past. She's the executive producer on this, and you're going to be working together again today. Yeah, we started in Wizards of Waverly Place. I was her older brother for many years. I played Justin Russo for many years on that TV show, and we stayed very good friends. And we always knew if we were going to reunite over something, it needed to be a project that would give you that same magical smile that Wizards did, and that's exactly what this film does. It's a feel-good, coming-of-age film that the whole family can sit down and watch together. I guarantee you will smile. And not only that, you'll get a live premiere experience with Selena and I afterwards. You bring a Kleenex of nostalgia because you might shed a nostalgic tear. That's awesome. And also on the line, we have Lorenzo. What was it like to work with your brother David on this project?
Oh, man, I think it was childhood dreams come true. We've always wanted to do something like this. And after forming our company, this is sort of the first fruit of our labor. And having that happen was pretty magical, and David's a great director, and we're just super stoked about this first ever live virtual premiere. Now, you guys have each had awesome projects on your own, but is this the first time you've worked together? Yeah, we've done small things here and there, but this is the first big thing we've done together in a longer time span. So, I mean, we have a production company that we produce and we develop on, but this was great to do something on screen and behind screen together with. Again, our guests today, David Henrie and Lorenzo Henrie, and they're working together on a project that's debuting today. This is the year. Lorenzo, you are the star of this film. Tell me about your character. My character is Josh. He's an everyman in high school, senior year of high school, and he has one last chance to tell the girl that he loves her. So he comes up with the plan to go on a road trip with his best friends to go to an event called Front and Center to see Lovely the band. And on this road trip, he will profess his love for her. So he's a great character. He's a fun character. And he, I think, relates to a lot of kids in high school right now. And David, while I've got you on the line, I got to tell you, one of my favorite movies of all time is a movie that you're in. It's called Walt Before Mickey. And I think that movie... Isn't that just a great movie? I love that story so much. And every time I've watched it like 10 times now. How sad is that? Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. That was a fun one. It's just a fun story, and it's the true story about Walt Disney before Mickey Mouse came along. That's a great story. And you got another great story that premieres today. This is the year. Where can folks find this movie if they want to watch the premiere today? This is the year .film. Again, it's a one-time only live premiere where you'll see me, Selena Gomez, and a live Q&A. Haven't been together in 10 years, talking about Wizards memories, and also performance by platinum artist Lovely the band as well. So you're going to essentially be like you're in a Hollywood premiere with all the cast is going to be there, me, Selena, Lorenzo, and you're going to get to watch the film with us for the first time. David, Lorenzo, thank you again for your time. Thank you very much. Again, our guests today have been David Henrie and Lorenzo Henrie, and today is a very special day for them because it is the premiere of their new teen romantic comedy, This Is the Year, and it debuts with Selena Gomez joining them after the film. We've got the showtime and all of the details in the show notes for today at JohnandHeidiShow.com.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Latin America has flowers that look like lips.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a flower in the rainforest of Central America and South America that resembles a puckering mouth covered in lipstick.
Oh, what are they called?
It is called the Psychotria elatea. I probably said it wrong. And it's got a nickname that I'm not going to say on the radio.
I bet it kind of looks like Audrey, too. Remember Audrey from...
I remember that.
Yeah, from
what was that
Little
called?
Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. Hey, did you watch that? Did you like that?
I loved Little Shop of Horrors.
I don't know if you know this, Heidi. That is a musical.
I am aware it's a musical.
Holy cow.
But it is kind of a parody of musicals, which is probably why I didn't mind it so much.
Well, there you go. That has been today's fun fact. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Every time I do that, I spin the globe to see where I'm going to land, and today it is right here, China. Dateline China. China has launched a campaign to end food waste, urging citizens to eat everything on their plates. My mother would be so proud. I think when I was a kid, I was told you need to finish all of that because there are starving children in China. Did you hear that too?
I was always in Africa.
Oh, in Africa.
We were told Africa. Yeah.
Well, it is a good idea to finish all the food on your plate. And they've got a campaign for that now. I've got a link to that story if you want to read all the details. It is in the show notes for today at JohnandHeidiShow.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. I would feel like such a doofus if I ended up in a story like this.
Okay.
All-day breakfast is one thing, but apparently all-day lunch is going too far. A woman in Ohio was reportedly arrested after causing a disturbance at Burger King because she was unable to order lunch items at 9 a.m. So the restaurant was still serving breakfast at the time. Apparently unable to offer lunch options, the woman, nevertheless, became quite upset, began yelling and cursing at the restaurant employees. It's not their fault. Despite the outburst, workers were still unable to provide the lunch items that the woman requested because, believe it or not, yelling and screaming and throwing a tantrum doesn't solve this problem. Authorities were notified of the disturbance. They located a woman in the area nearby and then discovered she had a warrant from a previous incident. So if you happen to have a warrant, maybe you don't throw the tantrum.
I will say I'm one of those breakfast lunch people.
You'd like to have lunch for breakfast and breakfast for lunch?
Usually.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even necessarily. I never really want breakfast for lunch, but I'm
I
always kind of a lunch person. I love.
I will
lunch
eat any
food.
meal at any time.
And I don't understand why it's impossible to make a Whopper. They're using the same grills and the same. It's a stubborn thing.
No,
but I
there's a
do
system,
believe
Heidi.
that she shouldn't have.
No.
I mean, it's not the employee's fault. They
No, it's
have
not.
the company itself has
A policy.
an operations
There you
manual,
go.
and they apparently have to stick to it.
Got to page 7. Can't do it. Thanks for listening to today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Nicole Paris's son and friends had gone on a long bicycle ride when they got a little bit tired on the trip home. So they called Nicole Paris and said, hey, will you give us a ride back? 34-year-old Paris got to where the children were and realized, wait a minute, I have room for you, but not for you and your bicycles. That's when they, quote, came up with an idea to place a towel in the rear hatch that would serve as a tow line for the children to hold on to while sitting under the bikes. Is a bad idea.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, she failed miserably. Her son lost his grip, fell off the bike. The boy's friend proceeded to run over his buddy with his bike.
Oh, my gosh.
An investigation of the June 23rd incident, she said she wanted her, it says here, Paris' son stated he wanted his mother charged and would testify in court to the incident. So he was actually very upset with Mom.
So if this is what was going to happen, why didn't they just ride their bikes home?
I don't know. They rode their bikes there.
That doesn't make any sense.
Again, it doesn't make sense. It's today's moment of done. That's why we have it here. We don't have we ever shared a story here that did make sense? If we did, we had to apologize afterwards.
Terrible decision.
Yeah, it's a bad. Don't do that. Don't do that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for Fake News or Florida. At this point in the program, I read a headline, and my beautiful bride Heidi has to guess, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick her and to amuse me? I noticed you watch me when I'm reading this. Does this have something to do with how you can guess?
I watch you all the way through the show.
No, I just noticed you staring like into my soul as I was reading that. Making me nervous a little here. I feel as though I should maybe flip things around here. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Quit looking at me. I'm going to put something in front of me. Time now for Fake News or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this true? A Winter Springs mother, that's in Florida, by the way, served as the lookout and getaway driver for her 15-year-old son who robbed a convenience store at gunpoint. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Yes, it is true. How did you know that?
I don't know.
She is so good at this game. You're on a roll. You've gotten them all right. I think we should have some sort of prize. I don't know what it would be. Thanks for listening to Fake News or Florida on The John and Heidi Show. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. And this, I think, is just kind of a cool story. There's a tree in California that is 2,000 years old.
Oh, cool.
2,000-year-old redwood trees survived the wildfire at California's oldest state park, and it's several of these trees, by the way. Massive wildfires swept through California's oldest state park last week. Many people feared that these 2,000-year-old trees would get burned to the ground. Some of these are the tallest living things on Earth, and they were afraid that they could get burned up, but they didn't. An Associated Press reporter and a photographer hiked up there, and they snapped some photos to confirm that the ancient redwoods had withstood the blaze. Amongst the survivors is one dubbed Mother of the Forest. They say, it's such good news, I can't tell you how much that gives me peace of mind. Conservation director for this organization says that they're super happy. Many people were very, very concerned. It says, the forest is not gone. It will regrow. Every old growth redwood I've ever seen in Big Basin and other parks have fire scars on them. They've been through multiple fires, possibly worse than this one. So over 2,000 years, I suppose that probably does happen from time to time. They say the reason those trees are so old is because they are really resilient. So there's a photo of this one, and that is really cool. What a neat photo. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.